Welcome to 5 famous Australian horse breeds that will blow your mind. In this video, you're about to discover some of the most legendary and unique horse breeds Australia has to offer. From warhorses that cross deserts without water, to small ponies that heal the hearts of children and the elderly. Each one carries a piece of Australia's history, wrapped in strength, freedom, and unwavering loyalty that's earned global admiration. Number 5. Australian Drought Horse. The Australian Drought Horse is one of the most iconic draft breeds in the country, a true, gentle giant that once powered the backbone of early Australian agriculture. Bred from 4 of Europe's strongest workhorse lines, Clydesdale, Shire, Percheron, and Suffolk Punch, this breed was built for hard labor in Australia's tough, dry, muddy terrain. Standing around 16 to 17 hands high, about 64 to 68 inches at the withers, and weighing up to 2,000 pounds, the Australian Drought is a powerhouse, but one with a calm, intelligent, and cooperative nature. That temperament makes it especially endearing to older audiences who appreciate traditional, well-mannered, working animals. Before the age of machines, generations of Aussie farmers relied on these horses to plow fields, haul timber, and move heavy loads. Today, while they're no longer a common sight on farms, they still appear proudly at agricultural fairs, local festivals, and the iconic Sydney Royal Easter Show. Living reminders of a hard-working past. Compared to the American Clydesdale, the Aussie Drought has less feathering on the legs, making it better suited to dry environments. And while it's lighter than the Belgian Draft, which averages over 2,200 pounds, the Australian breed is more agile and adaptable, perfect for Australia's rugged landscape. With its historical role, raw strength, and lasting cultural presence, the Australian Drought Horse absolutely earns its spot at number 5, a quiet warrior that helped tame the vast Australian land. But if the Drought Horse symbolizes power and perseverance, the next breed may surprise you. It's completely untamed and represents the wildest spirit of Australia you'll ever witness. Number 4. Brumy, Australia's wild horse. The Brumy is Australia's true wild horse, a living symbol of freedom and grit in one of the toughest landscapes on Earth. No saddles, no fences, no barns. Brumbies roam untamed, the last breath of wilderness in a world that's closing in. Their story began in the 18th century, when European settlers released or lost domestic horses into the wild. Over generations, these animals adapted to Australia's harsh terrain, from dry open plains to rocky mountain ranges. Today, Brumbies run in herds across Alpine National Park, Queensland, and the Northern Territory, moving like spirits of the land. Smaller than most riding breeds, Brumbies stand around 4 to 15 hands, 56 to 60 inches, and weigh between 700 to 900 pounds. But don't let their size fool you. They're tough, agile, and fiercely independent. To older American viewers, the Brumy may evoke the Mustang. But while Mustangs represent the open plains of the American West, Brumbies belong to Australia's red dust, shale cliffs, and ghost gum forests. They might not have the show horse look of a Mustang, but Brumbies are wilder, rawer, and deeply rooted in Australian literature and identity, like in the beloved book series The Silver Brumy, first published in the 1950s. Brumbies earn their spot at number 4, not just as a species, but as a cultural icon, at the heart of debates on conservation and control. To many Aussies, they are the last breath of freedom on horseback. But if the Brumy embodies raw wildness, the next horse on our list is all about skill, trust, and high-stakes teamwork, the true cowboy spirit of Australia. Number 3. Australian Stock Horse. The Australian Stock Horse has been a trusted companion to Aussie riders for over 200 years. Bred from thoroughbreds, Arabians, and Welsh ponies since the 19th century, this horse is fast, tough, and incredibly smart, the go-to partner for cattle work, rodeo events, and equestrian sports across the continent. Standing around 15 to 16 hands, 60 to 64 inches, and weighing in at 900,100 pounds, the stock horse is compact, muscular, and lightning quick on its feet. Its sharp instincts, obedient nature, and calm temperament make it ideal for older riders and rural farmers who need a horse they can rely on every single day. Compared to America's quarter horse, the Aussie stock horse is more enduring, better adapted to rough, dry terrain, and tougher when it comes to long days under the sun. In camp drafting, A traditional Aussie sport involving herding cattle at high speed, the stock horse is always the top pick. This breed earns its spot at number 3, not just for its skills, but for what it represents, the true cowboy spirit of Australia. Calm under pressure, highly capable, fiercely loyal, and built to last. It may not wear the glitz of show horses, but when the work gets real, this is the horse you'd want under you. But if the stock horse is all about teamwork and grit, the next breed takes us into an epic chapter of history, where horse and rider rode into war, and not all of them came home. Number 2, Whaler horse. The Whaler horse is forever tied to some of the most powerful, heartbreaking chapters in Australia's history. A blend of thoroughbred, Timor, and Arabian bloodlines, the Whaler became known for its extraordinary endurance, capable of traveling hundreds of miles across arid land without a single drop of water. Standing between 15.2 and 16 hands, 62 to 64 inches, and weighing 1,000 to 1,200 pounds, the Whaler wasn't the biggest horse, but it was one of the toughest and most loyal ever trained. Its calm nature under fire, literally, made it the perfect military mount, and the horse of choice for Australian soldiers in World War I. Over 130,000 Whalers were shipped to the Middle East to serve in battles from Gallipoli to Beersheba. Most never returned home. What they left behind were stories soaked in dust and tears, tales of deep bonds between soldier and steed that still move hearts today. Compared to the Morgan horse in the US or Anglo-Arabians in Europe, the Whaler stood out for its rugged adaptability, low maintenance, and quiet grit. All very, very Aussie traits. To many Australians, the Whaler isn't just a war horse, it's a symbol of honor, loyalty, and silent sacrifice. It deserves the number 2 spot, not just for its strength, but because it lives on, in memory, in legend, as a faithful companion who never gave up on his rider. But what if I told you, the breed that takes the number 1 spot isn't a fighter or a worker, it's actually the smallest horse on this list. And yet, it's touched more Australian hearts than any other. Number 1, Australian pony. The Australian pony isn't big or wild, and it never saw the battlefield. But it's the most beloved horse in the hearts of Aussies, especially children and the elderly. Standing just 11 to 14 hands, 44 to 56 inches, and weighing 400 to 700 pounds, this pony is cute, gentle, intelligent, and incredibly friendly. It's the result of generations of careful breeding, combining Welsh mountain pony, Timor pony, and Arabian lines, to create the ideal horse for leisure riding, riding schools, and therapeutic programs. Compared to the Shetland pony from the UK, the Australian pony is taller, easier to handle, and more connected to its riders. What makes this breed so special isn't strength or speed. It's how deeply woven it is into everyday Aussie life. From community festivals and school stables to therapy centers, these ponies are everywhere. To many Australians, the Australian pony is more than a pet. It's the first best friend they ever had on horseback. And that's exactly why it takes the number 1 spot. From legendary war horses to gentle childhood companions, these 5 Australian horse breeds don't just impress, they tell the story of a nation built on resilience, freedom, and heart. So the question is, which one would you choose to ride with if your journey started today?